degree of responsiveness of demand for a good to a change in income. Degree of responsiveness or demand for a good to a change in income. Basically, how much does your demand change in response to a change in income? Ceteris Paribus. Whoa, Latin. Okay. Ceteris Paribus. Ceteris Paribus means all else remains unchanged. All else remains constant. Okay. So this term, Ceteris Paribus, really just means everything else stays the same. It's like you freeze everything else and only this thing is changing. Income. Expectations are not changing. Government policy is not changing. Price of related goods not changing. Tastes and preferences are not changing. And then some of you will say, not realistic. It's not realistic. But in econs, no choice. You want to study human behavior to a change in income, you can't say 10 other things are happening. Then how do you isolate this effect? Okay? So we have to assume everything else is constant. Okay? You start to get a sense of how econs is being studied. Okay? Some assumptions need to be made. Okay? So, YED is also known as percentage change in demand over percentage change in income. Okay? So I need you to fill in the blanks. When YED is positive, what kind of good is it? Normal or inferior? Likewise, when it's negative, what kind of good is it? Very good. When it's positive, it's a normal good. Because it means if the denominator goes up, the numerator also goes up. That means when the income goes up, the demand goes up. It's normal. Then this is inferior. It seems like learning about elasticity has not value added anything. Okay, we're still looking at the same thing. Nothing has changed, right? Wait a minute. Okay. It can be greater than 1. It can be smaller than 1. But of course greater than 0. Between 1 to 0. Alright? So you are going to learn now that normal goods can be split into 2 kinds. Luxury goods. Something could be a luxury good or a necessity. Whoa. Okay? Inferior goods, we don't bother splitting this. So what this is telling us is that if our income goes up, if income rises by, let's say, 10%, our demand for luxuries will increase by more than 10%, like 12%, 20%, 30%. But if the income rises by 10%, our demand for necessities go up by less. Probably increases by 4%. I'm just throwing out some rough numbers. Increases by less. Okay, why? So why the difference? Okay, now it's because your necessities, you would have been consuming it before or after the change in income. If you talk about necessities like rise, like bus trips, before or after the change in income, you would be consuming them. You can't say, hey, I got a pay hike, 2 bowls of rice every day. Or I'm going to take the bus to and fro every day. Okay? A few more times. Doesn't make sense. You probably take a little bit more, like instead of walking to the market, you say, I'll take a bus now. It goes out a little bit more. Right? Maybe food, you can afford to buy a little bit more. But it's different for luxuries, right? In the case of luxuries, you buy a lot more. Okay? Any questions? Okay, hold on. Well, this is not required, but I feel that this helps. Positive infinity, negative infinity, these are called inferior goods. These are called necessities, whereas these are luxury goods. So this is YED and what it represents. This view alone summarizes what we just discussed. Okay. Yes, Kai.
So you know, like the income levels in a country by just looking at this elasticity.
Meaning you know the income level, huh? By looking at it.
Like you can predict.
If I see this concept of YED, right, it pertains more to a change in income. The base here, we don't look at it that much yet. But there are some factors that affect YED. Alright? So if I look at factors affecting YED, okay, factors affecting income elasticity of demand, right? The first one is the nature of the good, right? Because when it's a necessity, when it's a luxury, all right, when it's an inferior good, the YED value is different, or the YED range is different, right? So clearly the nature of the good explains this. Second, which is relating to your point, the nature of the consumer. Why I say that is because if you talk about fast food, some people say fast food is a normal good. Maybe some less affluent families, right? When they have an occasion to celebrate, they go for fast food. So to some consumers, fast food is a normal, if not luxury good, right? But for some consumers, fast food is inferior. Like you want to celebrate, let's go to a Michelin star restaurant. Who goes to McDonald's? You know? So it could depend on nature of consumer. So you're right in a sense. By looking at what people regard as normal goods, inferior goods, you can get a sense of how wealthy they are, the income level of the country. Okay? Follow? Now there is a third factor, rate at which you get satisfied. Rate at which you get satisfied as you consume the good.
You consume more than diminishing.
Yeah, you get diminishing returns, right? If you're talking about food, right? Let's say nowadays they eat a lot of weird stuff, right? We're not even talking about bad soup, right? Let's say giant lobsters. Sure enough, your income went up. You eat 1 lobster, would you eat 3 lobsters? No, you feel quite sick of it. But if you say buy 3 expensive pair of shoes, okay, 4 pairs also can. So it really depends on how you get satiated, satisfied as you consume the good. Okay? Okay? So these are the 3 factors that influence your YED. Okay. Any questions? Yes?
But the factors are purely based on like the consumers and not like external factors like unemployment.
Yes, it's not. Because why?